We're back with more live coverage of today's geoengineering event. We're in Salem, Massachusetts. Salem State University. Used to be Salem State College, where my parents went. Huge factor, of course, in the, leveling of human consciousness to a real base level is the huge emphasis on excellence in athletics, the athletic team sports. Now you have the teams concept in all of these corporations where you go to serve the Republic. The raw public, the sun people, be on a team. You get to be on a customer experience team. It's not a service team, servant. It's the psychological conditioning that happens when in the participation of the team sports. It takes you down to this real brutish level of consciousness generally. This is part of why I stopped participating in it. And also, consciousness that mocks those who have higher sensitivity and have interest in deeper things other than being, wearing a jockstrap and fitting in. And we wear a uniform on team sports, right? The uniform, the one form. It's control. It's geoengineering. It's the psychological warfare department applied. Where's I'll take you to the information about this marsh here over here. I'm not saying sports are bad. I'm talking about the fact that they're part of an agenda, an applied psychological agenda to shut down the intellect, to take human consciousness to a basement. Degradation and restoration timeline. 1926, Standard Oil Company developed the first commercial use of this site. 1936, High-Grade Incandescent Lamp Company opened the first light bulb factory on this site. 1936 to 1983, solid waste from light bulb manufacturing was deposited in part of the marsh by on-site companies. 1936 to 1990, the factory merged and was sold during this time, with Sylvania GTE as the final commercial owner. 1991 to 1994, plans were developed to cap the landfill and restore a section of the marsh. 1995, the landfill was capped under the direction of the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, MassDEP, and the marsh was restored. 1996, after excavation and replanting of salt marsh vegetation, an attempt was made to eradicate phragmites. 1997, Salem State University acquired the property from Sylvania GTE. 2002, Salem State began the renovation of the classroom building on Central Campus. 2003, Salem State broke ground for Atlantic Residence Hall. 2005 to 2009, Salem State designed and installed a synthetic turf ball field as a new, more protective landfill cap under the direction of the MassDEP. Present, Salem State University continues stewardship and uses the marsh as a living laboratory. Yes, because of course that's what nature's here for, right? For us to turn into our laboratory. to geoengineer her to oblivion. That's what we're here for, right? Yeah. Because we're humanity. Ditching. The straight and narrow channels coming off the Pickman River were dug in order to drain the upper reaches of the salt marsh. However, the channels, after plant community composition and nutrient cycling alter plant community composition and nutrient cycling by reducing the amount of open water, eliminating intermittent pools, and modifying natural patterns of groundwater drainage. Ditching has not destroyed the salt marsh, but it has simplified the structure, changing plant and animal abundance. Salt marsh benefits and functions. High primary production of plant material that becomes detritus, which serves as food for many shellfish and finfish. Nursery for juvenile fish, crabs, and shrimp. Habitat and food source for birds, mammals, reptiles, fish, and invertebrates. Filters sediments, nutrients, and pollutants. Protects upland property from erosion and flooding. Mitigates the effect of sea level rise due to global warming. Provides scenic vistas and areas for recreation and education. Salt marsh in Salem State's Atlantic Hall. Salt marsh vegetation. Salt marshes are dominated by grasses. The tall form of Spartina alterniflora smooth cordgrass is found in the lower elevations of the marsh, often at the creek's edge, where it receives daily flooding by tides. Water in the intertidal wetlands of the salt marsh ranges from high to low levels of salinity. Salt-tolerant plants, known as halophytes, have adapted to fluctuating water levels and salinity. Other grasses fill in the higher marsh where flooding occurs less often. These include Spartina patens, saltae, Diculus spictica spikegrass, and Juncus gerardi blackgrass. Limonium, nashi, sea lavender can also be found interspersed. The upper marsh border has a higher diversity of plant life because the border is flooded only at extreme tides. Eva frutensis marsh elder and Solidago sempervirens seed goldenrod are two examples. Geoengineering in Jockville. Jokerville. Fake human beings. Human beings who are trained monkeys in a living laboratory. People who do not care for anything higher than their own gratification. Jackasses, Jacobs, brain imbalanced, violent, abusive, on a mass scale. All the order followers, the sheep of El, the people who live like dogs and love being dogs and trained monkeys doing tricks. Sorry, that's how it is. We need intellectual warriors, not more jock heroes in love with their junk. We need people who can put their heads up as human beings are meant to do, and look up at the sky and see what's been going on and connect the dots about how we're being fucked. We're being assaulted. And if you're not addressing it or looking into it, you're irresponsible. Unless you have a condition which makes you unable to respond, unresponsible, irresponsible, then you're not forgiven for your failure to look deeper and see that human consciousness, not just, human behavior, but human consciousness preceding the behavior is at the root of our destruction of Earth. She's dying, y'all. This is how it is. And we got a bunch of just ridiculous things going on. And the shit show for a political theater distractions while look this way, it's misdirection. Look this way while, weather terrorism is going on daily and we're killing you off. What else could this be? I mean, wake the fuck up. We're being exterminated. Excuse my French, but fuck means it's for emphasis. And fuck, guess what? I'm gonna do a piece on fuck soon. The dictionary and the etymology and the definition. How fuck is a fecund word. Fecund meaning fertile. And this is why it was banned, because it's particularly fecund. You know, it has a lot of emphasis and, you know, has a power to it that the elites do not want you having. They do not want you saying fuck and shit, and I'm going to memorize all the Carlin words so I don't botch it all here right now. The words, there's the seven words you can't say on television, right? Yeah, I'm going to do a piece on that shit. These like fucking, the priorities are so fucked, it's not even funny. People are, like I said, you know, people think teachers should be getting more pay. You know, the teachers should be taught how to really teach instead of just program and prepare for tests and quizzes and get stressed the fuck out and have to go on Adderall. Sound like a plan? Namaste, aloha, Hare Krishna.